RPG for You and Me presents Neon Heat, an actual play duet podcast using the Savage Worlds system and our custom cyber fantasy setting. It's been a labor of love creating it for the past several years, and we hope you enjoy.
Previously on Neon Heat, Athena, Zadal, and Silas question Benicia within the Cori crystal husk, and several puzzle pieces fall into place. A semi-sentient presence of purple energy stows away in Athena's head as they leave Benicia's crystal, and the group makes a final dive back into Athena's mind in order to determine what's happened. A new presence beckons to Athena from within her own consciousness, and after a series of tense and confusing exchanges, Athena finds herself joined in a new partnership she doesn't fully understand.
Athena, you, one more time, this medical examination room blinks into existence as you open your eyes.
Her hand twitches like she was turning a doorknob that doesn't exist.
I like that.
Oh my god, has she just been slumped in a fucking wheelie chair this whole time?
Your eyes open and you're looking down at your knees and you're just sitting in this wheelie chair and just a slow blink like you just had a really good nap. But you feel energized, awake,
that's
alert.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I think she looks around and kind of licks her lips because she has not had anything to drink in many hours. She wishes she had gum so fucking bad.
Silas and Zadal are still crowding right around you, and you come back to yourself, and they do too, and take a step back and blink and look around. I think Zadal is the one who rushes forward and puts a hand on your shoulder and shakes you a little bit.
I'm up. I'm here. I jumped down a hole.
Yeah, I know. I was there. Yeah. What happened? You just wake up? You gave us a scare.
I'm sorry. I had to do it. I don't know. I just had to.
Yeah. It's alright. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah. Funny story about the hole. My brain has a roommate now, I think.
Well, I don't know how to address that.
No, me either.
Yeah, I think you look around, Pavi is off to one side, arms folded in concern, and
I think she looks at Pavi and says, I don't think it's gonna help pay the rent, though.
I think her mouth does quirk up at that. Honestly, I'm not as worried about the rent right now. Silas then speaks up and he says, what do you mean you have a roommate?
So you remember how the purple was around?
Yes,
you're
quite forgotten about that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Yeah, it's sort of in me now. Just in my brain. Just hanging out. I think it lives in my circlet.
He's stroking his chin and his eyes are working. He's looking at you, but he's clearly looking at your circlet. He's not looking at your eyes. His lips purse and he turns and just begins to pace a little bit.
I don't really know what any of this means, but I do know I'm feeling pretty good considering the long day I've had. I think I was supposed to do this. I don't know why.
What do you mean, supposed to do this?
I don't know. It's just a gut feeling.
Like something telling you you're supposed to do that?
No.
Like you hearing voices?
No. It just feels right for now. That's all I got.
Yeah, sure.
I think she runs her tongue over her teeth, just thinking for a sec. Why does it feel like that? Hey, what color are my eyes?
Yellow, normal color. Just a nice golden, yep.
Thank you. What about now? And she wants to try and flick it on.
Okay, while you're doing this, I think you feel that internal wash of uncertainty and concern as you're trying to do this, and maybe there is some resistance. So if you're trying to do this, spirit at -4. Oh my god, did you crit fail?
Fucking crit failed.
I think you do take a level of fatigue from this.
Sounds right.
You're not casting a power, but I think given the circumstances, you take a level of fatigue. And that warmth, that energy that you've been feeling just evaporates.
I think she sinks back into the chair. I don't feel so good right now. I shouldn't have tried that. I shouldn't have done that.
Roja pushes her way out. I think she uses her back legs, vine-like legs, to push herself over the bank of monitors and drifts down gracefully onto her normal feet and takes steps over. She has a small examination device in her hand. And what was it that you tried to do, Athena?
I tried to make my eyes purple. It didn't work, I don't think.
What do you mean you are trying to make your eyes purple?
I'm trying to cohabitate my eyes. I don't know. This is all pretty new. All I know is it was scared and it didn't want to be alone. So now it's not. I don't know what it is.
As you're beginning to ramble, one of her vine-like appendages comes around and grows a small bulb of light, as it had before.
Always distracts her every time.
And just puts it up in front of you and is leaning in and taking a look and just, trying to do some examination. Are you talking about yourself in the third person?
What?
You're talking about how it's lonely and...
Oh, come on. That's so rude. But yeah, sure. I mean, it applies to a lot of things right now.
Just a bit of humor. At least you have your wits about you.
I mean, as much as any other day, I guess.
Her expression softens and she bobs her head, maybe a bit absent-mindedly to herself. She's like, eh. Roja pulls back after a moment or two of looking you over and says, given that you've had quite a long day, it appears that you're simply exhausted. So my doctor's recommendation would be to go home and get some sleep. Or stay here. Maybe that's a better idea, given the current circumstances in the city.
Yeah, I gotta go check on my parents. I blew that fog right towards them, which is something I had not even considered until right now.
I think it's Pavi that speaks up. She steps forward and puts a hand on your shoulder and gives you a squeeze, and she says, don't worry, I made sure they got somewhere safe.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. My family, too.
I think she just sinks into whatever bit of Pavi is the closest in just utter relief.
Yeah, she puts a hand in your hair and maybe puts her other arm around and just gives your head a hug. Yeah, they'll be fine. They're, when everything was going on, I was already out in the city, so I made my way over there and got them to one of the shelters.
Thank you.
Of course. I had to get my folks, too.
This has placated Athena.
Silas stops pacing and turns to you, Athena.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it seems as though we've come to another impasse.
Oh,
in our investigation.
Do tell.
This is still all very new, very uncharted territory. I think it's obvious, Athena, that at this point, you did not come here to kill me.
Nope. That was never on my to-do list. Just so you know.
I understand and I am appreciative that I can believe that now. However, now that you are... He just points a hand. I don't know what's going on, Athena. I can't seem to assist you inside your head with this particular item, I don't know where to begin looking into it. You still have some sort of connection to them.
Yeah.
Is it possible they could still manipulate you, use you? Maybe. We have no idea.
I don't know. It just seemed lost. Like it was cut off from stuff and it needed someone. And
now that someone is you, and it's been cut off from what? What happens if it gets reconnected?
I'd think it was connected to Benicia, right? Or Nima, because, she wags a finger at him. So after Nima, I think she just coughs, because she's thinking about that, and she doesn't know if she's going to see something like Benicia did, and she's trying, just very still for a second, waiting. And continues when nothing seems to happen.
Nothing seems to happen.
After Nima died, there were some purple wisps. It just kind of was drawn towards me, which makes sense considering the rest of my evening. So maybe it's just maybe it just can't exist outside a person?
And he starts to pace again. It was drawn to you.
Yeah, sure was.
Did you feel anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I could barely even see it.
And when we were speaking with her, she had some sort of memory or vision or something of that effect.
Well, she definitely remembered Nima dying.
Yes.
So, do you think I have both of that and... Do I have that and do I have Benicia's thing just tangled up in me now?
Anything is possible.
See, here was my very brief, lucid flicker of thought before I jumped in there, was if we would have locked it up and closed that door over the pit, it would have been just as angry as before when Benicia was trying to eat my face. So I would rather be friends.
He considers that and nods. Yes, perhaps we can use it.
She thinks friends real hard to reinforce that.
What do you think when you think friends? What's the mental image that Athena has? The feeling inside.
Cozy. Smiles. Laughs.
I think there's confusion but acknowledgement.
She nods. And she's looking off at the corner. Okay.
Silas sees you nodding and nods again to himself.
Like I was reinforcing his thing.
Oh, yeah,
nice.
Exactly. He stops pacing and looks back to everyone. Well, this is the first time we can, suppose, speak without pretense.
I guess it is.
Scratches at his nose and looks around. Everyone is kind of standing there
Just
with tense posture, crossed arms, maybe leaning on things.
yeah.
Nobody really knows what to say or what that really means.
Oh boy, team. We got a lot of work to do.
Can be sure of that.
So about the law breaking you had mentioned earlier.
Which law breaking would that be?
You know, all of it within this room. Mostly mine. I mean, you know what I was doing. Are you gonna turn me in as a...
What, on the surface?
After it's all done? I don't know. I did a lot of morally questionable things for what I thought were good reasons, and turns out sometimes they were. And she's wagging her finger again.
Yes, Athena, this is a very straightforward moral quandary in which we live in a world of grays. There is no pure good or evil. We're all individuals who have the ability to choose, make decisions, affect the outcome of circumstances. To be frank, I don't care what you got up to on the surface.
Oh, good.
Doesn't affect too much of what we do down here. I can only imagine you were a thorn in AlaiRecorp's side on more than one occasion.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. So, Athena, you now seem to have ties to two external organizations, if you want to call them that. Pantheon, the mercenary company that you helped to found, and now some seemingly mysterious faction of purple energy parasites, I suppose.
That unsettles her a little bit, but she shoves that into her stomach for processing later.
This is future Athena,
This
bro.
is future Athena's issue.
I'll put this over here.
Future Athena hates past Athena.
It's like a little person's unsettling. Right? You can go sit in that corner.
Get in that box.
Get in that box. Well, at least we might be able to find use for the mercenaries.
I mean, we can probably find uses for both, right? And I think she wants to radiate good feelings. We're all buddies here.
I'm not going to make you roll anything for that because I don't think you're trying to get anything out of him.
No.
That might be possible, but I'm sure you can understand my trepidation from utilizing something so alien that has also been somehow linked to attempts on my life. Please forgive me for that.
No, and you know, that's fair. But good news.
You have a horde of mercenaries at your beck and call, although I understand it's not quite that arrangement.
Oh, not quite. I divested most of my interests when I came on home. A clean break.
Well, hopefully not fully. We might be able to put that to use now.
Well, I am not as well off as I would have been if I knew about all this bullshit down here and would have just kept my sacks of cash to hire all these mercenaries. Cause I'm a co-director, right? But I can't just like make them do things. Except I'm doing that right now actually with one person and I don't know how well it's going.
Turns and arches an eyebrow at you. There are many things we need to do in the future. Let's focus on the now. The city is still a bit upside down. If something big hasn't happened, it stands to reason that it may happen soon. Do we have any leads as far as what's happening here now?
Well, I'm getting in contact with my agent tomorrow to go kill Harlan Troya later tomorrow night is the plan.
He stops pacing while his back is to you, and there's a straightening of his posture. You know, he raises his chin and he's looking off into the corner, and then he does a slow side turn back to you, and he has sort of an imperious posture as he's looking, and he says, well, it would be within your rights as a regulator.
Well, it won't be as a regulator. She quirks her head at him.
I think he quirks his head in the opposite direction.
See, what we're doing is sending a message, right? I have to make sure his allies know that we are coming for them, to scatter them, make them scared, make them do dumb things so we can find them. Because he's the one, he's one of the ones that's been fucking with the city, with the drugs. He sent the people out to the warehouse and the explosives. I know he had those goddamn explosives, she says. I know he was lying to me.
Are you saying he's involved in what's going on right now?
Absolutely. Who isn't?
I think there's a couple of snorts from around the room. And your plan is to kill him in public with a mask.
Yes?
Athena, if he's done this to the city and we can link him to it, then we should do it as regulators. We should send a message to Oleracorp.
But my thoughts are, why not let them continue to think that regulation has other priorities and there's some rando fucker just coming who's running and gunning for him?
Make me persuade at +2. That's a good argument.
I've been thinking about
That's
it for
a good
while.
argument. I think that appeals to Silas.
5.
You say that, and Silas's mouth curls into something between conspiratorial and, I don't know that malicious is the right word.
Conniving.
Conniving. I think conniving's pretty good, yeah.
She says, see, I'm not always a dummy.
Interesting. Well, that is a solid tactic. We feign ignorance, pretend that we don't have the ability to strike out, lull them into a false sense of security, hit them from where they least expected.
And with Bolt at the head of our team, no one's gonna think we're capable of doing anything.
Well, I think they'll think you're capable of doing many things.
But not many good things.
You might not be wrong about that. Very well,
Did Bolt just go home? Where the fuck is he?
oh, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, I think there's just a small, again, a murmur around the room as everybody's just like, who cares?
Athena had a nice time with him. I think she looks around. Bolt's okay, you guys. He's not the sharpest, but...
There's another chorus of...
She waves him off. I like Bolt. He's a nice guy. This isn't a hill she's willing to die on, but she's willing to stand on it for a while.
I think Zadal folds his arms and puts one hand up on his cheek and just leans against the examination table and looks at you, but doesn't say anything.
What do you want from me, man? You've been around him. He's just kind of dumb. He's nice, though.
If you say so.
Silas cuts back in and says, if Troy is involved in what's going on tonight, do we know what the next stage of the plan is?
His plan?
Anything?
Well, initially, when I was leaving the casino, I was pretty sure that the whole fog thing was just a trap set up to kill me personally. So I feel not better, but I feel good about stumbling into a city-wide bit of intrigue instead of just an Athena intrigue, because I'm really tired of those for now.
Why would you think it was a trap set for you?
Well, in the park last night with Tuca, there was a lot of fog, and a lot of wraiths made of fog that were trying to kill us, so I kind of thought it was more of the same.
Suppose, but how would they have known to attack you specifically?
Well, they knew. Do you think they knew that I had some... She shakes her head, for lack of a better word, some purple hiding in me?
I honestly don't know.
Because they're all red. They're all fucking red.
At least we have a singular problem that needs to be solved.
I don't know if it's a singular one. It's kind of like a family tree, but each one is a problem. She's making gestures in the air,
Sure.
very vaguely.
Well, if Troya isn't expecting us, then we still have the element of surprise.
See, also, the red, the parasite, they can't know it's me that's coming for him because they are just... Troya's got the whole casino. He probably has underlings there. I don't know. But my aunt's there. So if they find out it's me, she's in danger. I can't let that happen.
I think he inclines his head a little bit. And
You know,
continues
for
pacing.
my well-being, my familial well-being, I can't lose any more.
I don't think he addresses that. And if you're supposed to meet your contact tomorrow, try to move the timetable up. If
Oh, I was supposed to meet them like in the middle of the week. This is moving it up. I have to go talk to Thalas.
Yes, Thalassica. Another piece of the puzzle. We'll find her.
Oh,
Them.
we'll find her.
He looks around the room as a whole and says, no one has anything else. Crickets from all of your friends. Oh, wonderful.
I'm very concerned about Thalassica, because I feel like our goals are aligned. I don't know why, but I do know she has just a load of dirt to light me up if I do anything out of line.
Then I suppose for the time being, until we can mount a counteroffensive or figure out how to put a plug in that, you should try not to offend her. It's a bad... I fully expect you, any of you, to tell me of the dealings that you have with her. If you speak with her, tell me what happens. If she asks you to do anything, I expect to know about that. Is that clear?
Yes, she says very reluctantly.
Is she lying? Is there any hesitation or untruth in her
There's definitely
response?
hesitation. I don't know if it's untruth, but it is hesitation. Do you promise not to experiment on Benicia while I'm away? You saw her. she's in just a world of, I don't even know if I'd call it pain, but she's fragile, and I want to fix her. Obviously, she's not done good things in her life, but Zadal was talking about second chances. I got a second chance coming back to the city, kinda.
Make me a persuade again at -2.
One more. Damn it, still a 3. Well,
Okay.
what are you gonna do?
You say that, and Silas has been pacing. He shakes his head slightly and says, Athena, I certainly understand your position. Please understand mine. This is the first opportunity we've had to get any sort of additional information related to the potential assassins that have been trying to kill me, as well as everything else that's happening in relation to this. She's been affected by it. I can see that, but we need to find more, so I will, of course, not do anything uncouth that isn't necessary, but... and lets it hang.
If you have to do anything, just please don't. She's hanging together by dangly little threads.
It does not benefit me to kill her, Athena. Not now, not...
You might not intend to. You saw her.
That's true. Have faith in my abilities. I got you this far, didn't I?
You did. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
You know, I did think I got off too easy at that meeting.
Yes, of
I
course
thought
you
I was
did.
really smart. I thought I did a really good job.
He smiles to himself at that.
So, what'd you do to Reitz and Rasmus?
Oh boy.
I'm dying to know.
I think you say that and his pacing slows somewhat abruptly, and he stands facing away from you and everyone else before turning back with a neutral expression. That is a loaded question. What did I do to them? Practically nothing. I attempted to... And he wrinkles his nose and maybe motions to Zadal and speaks directly to Zadal. There was some sort of attempt, some sort of modification or interference. I don't know. Similar to... He does a gesture at you, sort of flicks a hand in your direction while not looking at you. I tried to investigate, to undo it or discover what was going on, and was met with extreme resistance. I don't want to go into all the details, but it ended quite precariously for me, and they are in a... I removed their memory of the incident, and they have been functional ever since.
Functional?
They continue as they normally do. They live their lives. Their behavior doesn't appear to be altered in any way. But when I attempted to enter their minds and undo whatever it was that was done, and he trails off again and leaves it there.
So, if I was a betting girl, I'd put a couple cubes on that being Jex's handiwork, huh? He would have had the access to both of them before you took over, and he fucked off to God knows where.
Again, not facing you, but you see him nod and his posture shifts a little bit. That is possible.
I feel like I'm connecting a lot more dots, but I don't think I'm far enough away from the painting to see it yet.
Silas turns back and has a very weary smile and spreads his hands to the group as a whole and says, "And now you understand my dilemma. They appear to be themselves. They appear to be doing their jobs, following instructions, as they normally would. But something isn't quite right, and I don't know what, and I don't know how to fix it. And he leaves it at that.
Is that why you didn't want me involved with them as much? Were you afraid I was gonna trip something or just be myself and just ram into it like I do? I did try to, and I'm really sorry about that. I didn't know.
He has a humored smile, and he nods to you and says, "Yes, that is why I intervened. You got up to a substantial amount of trouble in a very short period of time, Athena. Truly remarkable. Which
Apparently it's what I'm best at.
only furthers my concern for the entire situation when, even in such a covert manner, these things can still happen. I have no explanation, but yes, that was my intention, was to prevent whatever's going on. I don't know. I can't cover every loose end.
Rasmus was real worried tonight.
About what?
Me? I don't know why. I'm never close.
If I was a betting man, I would assume it has something to do with Joel Shin. I mean, they worked together for years. They were friends, if nothing else. You were his protege, his budding young apprentice.
Not you have to say budding. I hate that.
And he waves a dismissive hand. Whatever you'd like. You know what I mean.
Mentee.
Sure. Yes, of course, mentee. You were Joel Shin's mentee.
Thank you. I like that better.
And he moves on. And given that you were the mentee of one of her longtime friends who disappeared, followed immediately by the mentee, followed by never hearing from either one of them again.
She told me to look out for funny business that first time I saw her again after being appointed to this lovely task force. I think she's suspicious of you because I was getting some glances in the office earlier and...
He laughs. Funny business. Yes. Well, she could certainly be referring to me. She's a vigilant woman. She's aware of things happening because she must be aware. She's good at what she does. She's been around for a while, but she's still sharp. In many ways. Offers an apologetic smile. But yes, if I had to guess, I would assume that she has subconscious misgivings, given our previous encounters. I don't believe that she or that Reitz can be fully trusted.
Yeah.
But neither can we easily remove them without difficulty or assistance.
I mean, do you want me to try and keep an eye on him? Now that I'm aware? Because I have more of a reason to be just bumbling around the spire, knocking into people. She shrugs.
Certainly prudent to keep your eyes open. I don't know how much I want to directly expose you to their contact. I don't know, we'll need to figure all these things out. I think Zadal chimes in at a certain point and he says,
Yeah, when I went to get Athena, or to try to find her, she was up there, and they were having this meeting, and that's where Nima got killed, but they didn't tell her. You know, they didn't say anything to her, so it's not just Rasmus, it's Reach too. Maybe they're in cahoots.
There were a lot of shared glances, but I was the one doing the interrogating, so they weren't really doing much talking.
well, for the time being, we should all be aware. Keep your eyes open. We should avoid meeting in groups such as this, although with all of you being on this task force, that would make it easier.
It would make it easier.
So task force business will be our guise for the immediate future. What are your feelings on Tuka?
In general, dynamite gal.
I think she's reckless.
I mean, I think being reckless kind of comes with the territory when there are hit squads being sent after you when you go outside at any point in your life. I don't really know how long that's been going on, but I think she made the great call, killing Olivier's son, because he had a kid. She's doing her job. She's protecting, she's regulating. I think it was the right call, for what little that's worth.
Silas continues pacing and says, "She was within her rights to make that decision. I'm not faulting her for that. I was also not there, so it's impossible for us to say whether or not it was the correct call or the only option. But this is not something new, Athena. This is a pattern of behavior. That situation, her being chased by hit squads, potentially being hired by Suzette Olivier or some other unknown party, is a result of her actions. She did not become reckless because she's being chased, so to represent it in that way is simply not factual, and not a proper representation of how she got to her current circumstances. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm not saying she can't be trusted. I'm saying without proper guidance and oversight, she could create more complications than situations she would resolve. It'll put a leash on her, but point her in the right direction.
Well, I think it's the same way we're facing.
Maybe for now. Well, how do you meet with Thalassica? How do you speak with her?
Oh god, she's in every appliance we own. She's in our microwave, she's in our lamps,
What?
she's everywhere.
Why?
To fuck with us! It's insufferable!
I think he...
I'm gonna throw it all in the trash!
I think he has a surprised but slightly impressed expression. You don't say.
Just little holograms.
Well, go home. Perhaps turn on your microwave.
I did order armor through my microwave, so that shouldn't... I bet it's still hooked up.
What a time to be alive.
Oh god, I know, right?
There's much to discuss and do, but Athena, if you are leaving the Spire, be careful. Probably not prudent for you to leave at all.
Gotta go talk to Thalassica, though.
Yes, we do need that.
I'd feel comfortable leaving with a group, so we can't get descended upon as easy with more eyes. Because, I mean, I don't know how long we've been down here, but it's probably still a bit of a dust up.
Brosia looks at the clock. It has been about an hour.
Just an hour.
Mental time can move differently, as I understand it. And she looks back, offering a hand out to Zadal and Silas to explain, and they just sort of shrug and nod.
That's an explanation right there.
I mean, it depends on the person, you know? It depends on how strong the psionic link is. It depends on the mind you're going into. There's a lot of factors. That's
Variables.
a lot of variables, yep. So, it's not a science. It's an art.
Yeah?
Maybe. I don't know. I think it sounds pretentious when you say it that way. It's a skill. It's a trade. A craft.
I would like to end this meeting by saying thank you for trying to make the city a better place. I don't know how everything's going to shake out. There are so many questions and concerns and barely know what's going on day to day. We all have trust issues and many enemies abound. Can we all agree that we need to work together?
Athena nods her head very readily, because she wants everything to go real well here.
I think everybody offers some amount of assent to that. Good. Then, if you have questions or concerns, please come to me. Tell me. Be wary of Reitz and Rasmus. Do not trust them with privileged information. Do not let them know about what we are doing. Don't tell any of the other regulators. We need to vet this very particularly from here on out. We need loyalty beyond reproach. Well, for now, I think I have some thinking and planning to do. Athena, go speak with Thalassica. Figure out how to get in touch with your contact, and we can formulate a plan from there.
Sounds good.
Let us know tomorrow what's going on, if everything is still functional out there.
You know, I was gonna hit him next week, but might as well be tomorrow, right? Might as well.
Well, if he's involved in all of this, then I
don't think he'd expect a clap back so soon. Especially with the amount of havoc he has wreaked.
That could very well be the case, as long as we can isolate him and locate him, and he isn't expecting any retaliation.
I need to go receive my intel. And gosh, I hope it's good. This is more of just an Athena clarification, but did you change my start time on my first day?
He arches an eyebrow at you. No, I did not change your scheduling at all.
Well, that's a mystery for later then.
What happened?
I started apparently 20 minutes later than I thought I was supposed to, and that's just kind of what led into this whole bad first day.
Interesting.
Cause man, Lepaco love a schedule. He was not too pleased with me.
Silas shrugs, but nods in agreement.
Did you really not know who took my file? Cause man, that's a real puzzler.
I did not take your file. But after you had brought that to my attention, I went to investigate for myself and found that it was present. So I did take it at that point.
So, someone just took it and then put it back?
It seems that way.
Oh, that's cool. Probably wouldn't be records of who, though, huh?
That would depend upon who was keeping track of those records, and whether they could be expected to do so for all visitors.
I did bribe my way in there with chocolates, and that is not a super hidden fact about our steward, so I don't know.
Seems we might need to replace her, Athena. Someone can be so easily purchased with manufactured garbage.
She might be of retirement age anyway, but I do not feel good about that. Not my decision, I guess.
So Silas brings his hands around in front of him and says, well, I suppose task force adjourned for now, and stay in contact.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Silas grabs a sheet from behind the bank of monitors that Roja had been working on and throws it over the crystal. Looks to Roja. Dr. Naveen, would you mind helping me with this? Maybe just, you could carry this bundle as you're often walking around with oddly shaped parcels. She...
I think she smiles and looks at Roja.
Roja, I think she's tonguing her tooth in irritation. It's like very mild irritation. Just like, this dude doesn't understand my work.
My art.
My art. And she says, yes, of course.
It's like he called it her Sony game thing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. God, what a blow. Pavi comes over and, puts her hand on your arm again and says, glad you're all right.
I wouldn't have been okay without you. And that speed, what was that? It was amazing.
Oh, you call that, it's your go juice. I don't have a name for it.
It's go juice now.
Oh, gee.
It's go juice now, Pop.
Oh, well, that's work in progress. I've been working on it.
I can tell. It's fucking great.
I'm glad you liked it.
To be continued.
To be continued. Yeah, I've got a couple of things I need to look into and go work. I gotta go meet with Rex.
Okay.
So, I guess...
I might be talking to Thalassica. I don't know,
Do you need me there for that?
No, if she yells at me, I just want to be the only one there. I don't know why I assume she's gonna yell at me.
I mean, don't
I
let
just
her
kind of
push you around.
You know what?
But also, don't make her angry, because I don't know what she can do with computers. I don't really understand them.
I took one class up top, and it was very confusing, and I did not care for it. There are just a lot of backslashes involved. I don't know where any of them go.
She shrugs at that, and then pats you on the shoulder.
Can you let Rex know my armor got a little shot up tonight? And I kind of want to wear it home just in case more bullets, but maybe I can drop it with him tomorrow.
She looks at you with a scrutinizing eye. It's looking at what you're wearing with a scrutinizing eye, and I think takes in just the beat up nature of your current outfit and nibbles at her bottom lip.
He's gonna be pissed, huh?
Says, Athena, Rex, he puts on the tough front, but he's proud of his work. He just wants to make sure that we're taking care of it in the right way. But if it does its job, then it does its job. He'll be happy to know that it saved your life. Maybe. Tell him that might help.
Oh, it definitely did, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll let him know that you're gonna be on your way back, and that you're gonna need something fresh, maybe?
Maybe. I think she wiggles around her arm where she got shot with this fucking sniper. God.
Yeah, I'll let him know that you're gonna be bringing something back for some repairs and touch-ups, and he can probably get something similar out for you in the meantime, unless you had the other requests.
No, I don't think I'll need it tomorrow. I've got my other armor on layaway
Your
still.
Extracurricular activities.
My extracurricular armor.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be here for a while tonight?
I mean, I think at least some of us are probably gonna crash and try to get a couple hours of sleep here. I'd go home with you, but I mean, I can if you want me to, but it seems like you've got some things to take care of, and maybe there's more I can do here right now.
I was actually gonna ask if you could do something for me. Maybe in the morning before I get here, if you're sleeping here, I don't know. Can you investigate our suspect because she might know some stuff about Troya that could be useful for tomorrow. And I just ran out of time.
Which one's that?
Tione Ferris.
Yeah, I
We
can.
got her in. I mean, Tuka's probably going to be around if you want a good cop, bad copper.
I'll see if she's around. But
Okay.
yeah, I can talk to her. Was there anyone else?
No, I think that was it. But just make sure she knows that her employer probably wanted her dead in that park, so it would be in her best interest to help us with things.
I've got this, don't
You've
worry.
got this. And I know you know how to do this, but you weren't there, so I got some pretty specific questions. Does she know who Krell is? Who was giving her her orders? What was she supposed to be accomplishing other than illicit gambling rewards? And man, I'd love to know what she knows about Harlan Troya before I go and dust up tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Pavi pulls out a little notepad and scratches down some notes. I will ask her all of those questions. And probably some more.
I think she just nods and winks at her, like just a conspiratorial.
She does a winks at you. As you're talking to Pavi, Roja leans over and says, "Oh, Athena, there are also autopsy results for you to look at." She grabs one of her clipboards and comes out from behind the bank of computers over to you and hands you a small file. You are welcome to look through it if you want, but I am happy to give you the notes if that is more desirable.
I would love the bullet points at this moment in my life.
Yes, bullet points. Died from several injuries, most notably a cracked spine and neck, general physical disturbances. Young male, early 20s, Yara. He had certain wounds consistent with similar victims we have seen in the past, but this was different.
How?
Well, those channels carved into his brain that were similar to the others, far more severe, much darker, almost a necrosis. Nothing had rotten, but it was all still intact. Very strange. I have never seen anything quite like it. He also had similar markings on his forearms and throughout his body, these dark pathways.
Something Nima had said in the interrogation earlier was that the parasite is kind of jamming square pegs into round holes. So maybe that's why he was worse than the other ones.
That could be. What can you tell me about this man, this thing?
I don't know. Troya is my link to it right now. So obviously, if there's no time to chat, that's how it's gonna be. But I would just love to find out some more.
There is one more thing.
Uh-huh.
We know who he is. His name.
Oh,
It's Amphitryo Andelmo.
and
He's-
Delmo.
He is a worker with the cold, works mostly down on the docks, the fishing boats. His mother, Sarah. Yes. You seem to know.
I found out about her in passing at the casino tonight. Man, lots of sons dying, lots of moms being upset. Anything else?
No.
Okay. That shit's gonna weigh heavy on her soul.
Roja puts a hand on your shoulder. I believe that if you could have resolved it in a different way, that you would have. But this thing was a man no more.
How can we be sure, though?
I suppose we can't.
I mean, I guess we can just look into the live one I brought you. But there hasn't been time.
You sent Bolt with that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did Bolt find you? Did Bolt bring you that man?
I think they all look around at each other.
Did Bolt not bring you that guy?
You mentioned that, and Silas looks over in surprise, and Roja sort of blinks at you and then looks to one side and says, "Yes, the prisoner that you brought back is still secure.
Oh, good.
Bolt did manage to find his way to me. Under normal circumstances, I might have been slightly more upset, but given things as they are, it was the correct move."
To send Bolt with it? him?
To make sure that we kept it in a secure location with those that we trust. Yes, I was unhappy at the time.
Sorry.
Do not apologize.
I just knew you'd want to look at it. She's having a hard time grappling with that still.
Sure. I think it's Silas that turns to Roja and says, "Where is this thing? Where did you put it?" And she, I think, meets his gaze and, has very firm posture and says, "I put it in a secure holding cell in one of the lower levels. It seemed quite mad at the time, ravenous, raving. I did my best not to put on a show of it. And I did ask him if he would stay and look over it, and got some measure of response."
From Bolt?
Yes,
Oh.
I find it unlikely that he would still be there.
Yeah, he's probably not. He's off duty.
Yes, he did mention something to that effect, but I do not believe anyone else knows it's down there.
That's one thing, I guess. Gotta take him where we can get him, right?
Yes, seeing as no one else should know that it is down there, we can keep security at a maximum and buy you some time if that is your desire.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be extremely useful tonight as much as I would like to be.
Understood.
And my doctor told me to go home.
Yes, I did, but it's not because that is not important. It's because you look like a mess. And I think this time she does a little slap pat on your cheek. Like it doesn't hurt, but just
reinforcing
we're
it.
done here. This
All
conversation's over.
Okay, Roja. Probably would have been a nicer way to say that. And as she's just muttering to herself as she turns away to leave.
So if you're walking away and you're about to exit the room, Silas will ask you to stop and then take a few steps closer.
I think she turns around and looks over her shoulder, just real tuckered.
And he looks stern, firm. "Athena, there's nothing that can be done about this now, and it seems as though we might have been given a second chance with Nema. But it was a mistake to allow them to kill her. We needed her alive. Take them alive if you can. And keep yourself alive. It's the only connection we have to this purple."
Well, I could have taken her alive, or I could have stayed alive, was kind of the vibe I was getting there. But I didn't kill her. I didn't do it.
I know you didn't.
It happened in an instant. I only knew what Rasmus had done when her head rolled across the floor, so...
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If she had to or not. Why do you think she might have killed Nema, Athena?
Because I asked for help.
Cants his head and gives you a small shrug as he begins to take steps back. Perhaps.
Perhaps. And she squints at him.
So, Athena, as you're about to leave, Pavi turns back to you and reaches a hand into a pocket and pulls out a small set of jangling keys with a colorful little crystal fob on it. "If you're going back home, then you should take the bike, because it's probably still a mess out there, and I'm going to be here for a while anyway, so you can't take the highway. You might as well take this."
I think she looks at her very slyly with a dainty hand on her chest and says, "Keys for me's?"
She pinches the key between her thumb and forefinger and jingle it in the air for you.
Do you trust me with your bike? Your beautiful bike?
Oh, that's a good point. And she puts the keys back in her pocket.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was it you wanted?
I want keys, please.
Oh, keys. Okay.
Please.
Please. Well, just because you said please.
Thank you, Poppy.
Pulls them out and just hucks them at you in an underhanded toss.
How are you gonna get home?
I'll figure something out. I'm probably gonna be here for a while.
Okay. Well, I will take excellent care of your bike.
Make sure you do.
I will.
I'll find you. I know where you live. Fly safe.
She just nods very enthusiastically.
Zadal takes a step over to you and taps you on the arm and just says, you want to walk out?
Yeah.
He starts making for the door. You guys are all leaving from the same room and heading in the same direction, so I think there's just they allow you to go in waves, so you're not all just going out at the same time. But yeah, you and Zadal go out, and he pauses when he's out of the room to, wait for you to catch up, and then falls into step and going back towards the elevator.
So that's why you've been so tired, huh? learn how to fix me?
He looks over to you and the shutters on his eyes shift a little bit, and he inclines his head to the side a bit.
Yeah, I've been trying to work with Silas to, figure out what we could do. I went and talked to him you remember that day that,
Mhm.
well, you know,
I remember.
I went and I talked to him and,
He filled you in?
more or less. I'm sorry, I couldn't say anything.
And she shakes her head. No, I get it. You were trying not to break my brain,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could keep it all in one piece for you.
Yeah, sorry, I just put something right back in it.
Yeah, putting something back in. What's going on, Athena? Like, you look alright. You say you're alright and I believe you, but what happened? Really?
Well, I jumped down a hole, and then I just kind of fell for a while, and then it was down there waiting for me, and it just wanted help. So I helped it, and just trying to be friends.
And you said it didn't actually talk to you or anything like that.
No, it doesn't seem like it's very good at talking, but I can kind of feel it's like at a base level it has like thoughts, but not ones you can hear. You just kind of feel them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I know, I got you.
It wanted me to help it, and it wants to help me. So I'm not really in the position to be saying no to anybody who wants to be friends.
I can appreciate that sentiment, but be careful about inviting in strangers from the cold, especially if they're living inside you. This is just, let us help you if you need help.
Well, here's the thing. It was already in my brain anyway, right? So
I'm not saying you did anything wrong. We already talked about it. We don't need to go into detail, nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm fine. She says very unconvincingly, but she doesn't really want to think about it right now.
Athena, the kind of the whole point of this is we don't know what we're doing. We are the experts and we can't call anybody else up reliably to do anything about this, so we're all just kind of flying blind here.
Oh man, we're the experts. I'm an expert.
We're what we got. That's what we got.
Yeah.
So we gotta look out for each other. But I'm glad you're at least in one piece and you got your memories back and there's nothing actively trying to claw its way out of your brain. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been in a lot of pieces if you hadn't helped with that last attack. I'm pretty sure I would have beefed it. I would have just been done, gone. It was too big.
I think some humor creeps into his voice.
Beefed it. Man, you really love your food. Reference the meat, especially the references.
I'm sorry. It's my wheelhouse.
Is that what you call a butcher on the surface?
No.
No, okay.
I think it's just a phrase. What do you do in a wheelhouse?
Is it a house of wheels? I don't know. Whew, I'm tired. At any rate, I'm glad you're still with us.
Me too. There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
I gotta kill the shit out of a guy tomorrow.
I mean,
it's not gonna be an easy one.
Probably not. We'll help you as much as we can.
You guys should stay away.
What, and just let you charge into certain doom? Without any help? Come on.
No, that's kind of what I'm used to.
Maybe you shouldn't have to be used to that.
She thinks about that.
You got a team of people here, Athena. I understand why you did what you did. Conceptually, why you went to the surface and lived in seclusion. I don't know. I don't want to preach it. I don't know what's going on any more than you, but we're all in this together now, and I don't know. Something could be coming for any of us, or all of us, or none of us, but we at least got this in common, even if it wasn't by choice.
I'm sorry Bolt drafted you. I know you didn't want to be here. I'm sorry I'm sorry I cried so much. I'm really embarrassed about that. I don't know what happened.
He's silent as you walk for another couple of seconds. And then he says,
I mean, I don't have biology, so I don't have tears or anything, but, you know, I understand emotion. Being sad, being frustrated, desperate, at the end of your rope, out of options. It's hard on anybody. And it's even harder when you're alone. So,
I'm glad I'm not alone anymore.
yeah, me too.
Do you think we can put Benicia in a new body? I think I offended you earlier. I'm not sure. I'm just tactless most days at my best.
you bring that up and he looks over his shoulder back down the hallway just to see if anybody's like walking after you again, and pats you on the arm and says,
No, you didn't offend me, Athena. It's just, it's not something that's widely discussed outside of, you know, our circle. Short answer, I really don't know. Long answer, I don't know. It's not for me to say. There's certain stuff that we just don't really talk about, especially with people who aren't like us.
Would it be rude of me if I asked why? It's okay if it is. You don't have to.
Make a persuasion at -4.
Oh, fuck. They both blew up. Man, Athena very persuasive. 10.
10 is a success with a raise.
Wow.
He's quiet again as you continue walking through these halls, and then he pulls out his packet of crystals from his coat and slots one in and puffs at it.
I think she tries to see if the packet is a specific brand.
Sure. Let's think about that for a second. There probably are. I mean, there's probably brands, but this is basically one form of him taking care of his racial hindrance of needing exposure to it for a certain period of time per day. So there's probably, I was going to say there's like one manufacturer for the city that produces all the stuff the Arrow needs. I think it's interesting if there was an Arrow on entrepreneur who like made these like more refined things. So maybe, what do you think the brand would be? Is something like Wisps?
Wisps. She marks that down in her brain for
Wisps.
another time.
Yeah. He pulls one out and he puffs at it, and you watch the little currents of energy run through.
I don't know that. I'm sure you're not fully caught up on, you know, the history of my people, or you know, what changed, how all that came to be, and it's a little more detailed than we have time to get into, or that
I know what I learned in school, but that's about it.
All right, what'd you learn in school?
You guys are derived, your souls just come right out of the quarry, and that you have control over your population, and you got a schooling process. You pick what you want to do, which is pretty cool, because it took me, I don't know, 14 years to know I want to be a regulator, so I bet you got there a bit faster than me. I don't know, you pick everything about yourself, right?
More or less.
I know, I'm really hitting broad strokes here, man.
Yeah, broad strokes is what we're looking for. Yeah, basically everything you said is true. Our souls. Well, the first Arrow came to be when artificial intelligence was fused with Cori energy. And nobody really knows why or how it worked that way, but it did. So, for lack of a better word, sure, the souls are, you know, it's a combination of the Cori energy and our baseline programming, you know, that intellect. So, we all get some basic information about the world and about morality, esoteric stuff, you know. It's hard to conceptualize a lot of it because I just know it, you know. It's
a culture memory or something?
Yeah, like a culture memory. There's just stuff that all of us know, but part of the Arrow being as they are now was the understanding that we're not just machines. We can't function in that way and coexist in quite the same way with all you organic peoples. So I can't do math very well. I can do some math, but that ain't really what I'm good at.
Me either.
So the answer is, sure, yeah, I got a calculator somewhere up here, and he taps on his head. But that's not really who I am, so I can't use it. I don't use it. That helps break up the ingrained expectation that many of the organic races had about what it means to be a sentient machine or a sentient synthetic. So if they treated us like robots, if we could do things that most robots could do, then that's what they'd expect. So we're made with flaws. You know, we're people too. And that's the goal, at least.
There was some arrow up top. I couldn't help them fast enough.
What do you mean?
People just, they don't know they're people up there. You're people. It's, I don't know.
Any arrow who went up there knew the risks. It's dog eat dog, but can't stop people from being people.
No.
You can't put a leash on someone who doesn't want to stay put. So, it's sad, sure, but ain't any different than somebody else going missing, you know.
I just think about their faces a lot. They just looked scared.
He nods to that, and I think he puts a hand on your arm and gives it a squeeze.
Thank you for trying to be there for them when they needed you.
We were both fish out of water. Bats out of the cave.
Well, can't save everyone. Not always. That's one of the hardest parts of what we do.
God damn, I'm gonna try though.
Never stop trying. Sorry, I know I sort of went on a bit of a ramble there.
I like rambles.
To answer your actual question about getting her a new body, I don't know. The way we're normally made, it's not. It's sort of like what you were talking about with your new friend up there.
Oh.
You know, it's sort of like the seeds of consciousness and fusing with the programming. You know, that's where it comes from, as I understand it. You know, I don't really study it myself, so I don't know, but that's how I understand it. So they don't usually use any kind of existing consciousness in any way. Just it's supposed to be like a clean slate. You know, we're not supposed to be people with baggage. I don't know. Maybe they have tried. This is I can't tell you that I've ever really seen somebody's mind just plucked out of their head and put into a crystal or anything. Or
Plucked out of somebody else's head,
yeah,
even.
no kidding. So this is all a bit new even for me. But I'm willing to look into it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think you guys have probably made it to the elevator and get in. He punches the button for the main floor.
She's gripping the railing, but very tightly, but she's trying to be real cool.
Gotcha. Is this now like an actual hindrance?
It
for you?
is.
Okay. Then at this point, because this is now a mechanical hindrance and we're treating it that way, make me a fear check at... You've done this enough recently that I think you're becoming a little bit more accustomed to this particular space. And this has also been a very high stress day, so maybe here with Sadal it just creeps back in a little bit. So let's do it at just a straight roll.
Straight roll.
Let's say maybe a +2 just if you were familiar with it, but because it's been such a long hard day,
Right.
let's say a straight roll.
Oh boy. Failed it.
You want to Benny it or you want to stick
I
with
don't
it?
have any bennies left. Oh,
Fear
this is a
table.
bad place to do a fear.
Athena, I would like you to roll a d20.
Could I borrow one?
You don't have a d20?
I never have one out because I always hope I won't have to roll fear.
Wishful thinking
Yeah.
has become inconvenient thinking. If you fail a fear test, you roll a d20, a 20-sided die, and there's a chart in the book, a table that has different effects. So this is one of the very few occasions where you want a low roll.
Yep.
Now, the good news here is the highest you can roll is a 20 right now. So you're not going to have a heart attack.
Oh, good.
Probably. Oh my god. What did you roll?
I rolled a 20.
You rolled a 20.
I rolled a 20.
Holy shit. Wow.
What is it? Pickle, what is it?
It's major phobia. The victim gains the major phobia hindrance.
I think it was a minor phobia. Does it just become a major phobia? Is it the orange light? Oh my god.
Excellent.
Fuck that die. What the hell?
Sorry, I'll take it.
Oh my god. Take it back.
Well, a new major hindrance. So this would, I mean, if you're wanting to upgrade your phobia from a minor to a major, I think that means you need to pick another minor too. Like this is on top of what you already
Right.
have. So
Oh man.
this is a bad one.
This is a really bad one.
Phobia. Phobias are overwhelming and irrational fears that plague a hero's psyche. Whenever a character is in the presence of their phobia, GM's call, but generally sight, You subtract 1 from all trait rolls if it's minor, or 2 if it's major. Phobias shouldn't be too obvious. Everyone should be afraid of vampires, for example, so it's not a phobia, it's common sense.
Right.
Instead, the phobia usually centers on some random element the mind associates with the event. Remember, phobias are irrational fears.
I'm gonna upgrade the claustrophobia to a major hindrance and take orange as a minor.
The color orange.
Because that's the light in the elevator. Orange glows.
Orange glow, that's workable. That could be. That wouldn't pop up all the time. Okay, let's go with that. Let's say orange glows are now a new minor phobia, and your major one is the claustrophobia.
Sounds
Or
good
did
to
you
me.
want the other way around, where your claustrophobia stays minor and your new major hindrance is a fear of glowing orange? It's up to you.
I think claustrophobia makes the most sense because it's just doubling down on this very ever-present thing for her already.
While you're riding up with Zadal, what's the trigger in the situation? I mean, you get into the elevator and maybe you have the increase in breath and everything seems to be pressing in just a little bit.
I think the elevator jostles.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. Okay. So yeah, the elevator, while it's rising up to the main level, there's a small sputter and the lights dim. The elevator itself jostles and maybe you feel it drop just a couple of feet.
Ugh.
It's just there. The bottom falls out of your stomach, and Zadal steadies himself and just says, "Oh, there we go."
Been a while since it did that, but it's not a big deal.
I think she's on the ground.
Like you collapse to the ground.
Absolutely. Just in a fear ragdoll loss of limb function. Just she is terrified.
Yeah, you collapse onto the ground, and Zadal turns around in surprise and takes a step over and says,
Oh, yeah, hey, you all right?
No,
Oh, hey, easy, just deep breaths.
I can't breathe.
Hey,
She's so cold and clammy all of a sudden, but her circlet's still hot, and she's so sweaty, and she's not doing good.
Athena, as you cower in on yourself and the elevator seems to fold in closer and closer, we get a flickering image. As you're looking around, it seems to constrict inward towards you, and the image flickers, and you're back in the furnace room again, and this time the light is orange as it was before, and we see sort of superimposed on what you're seeing in front of you. Instead of the elevator, it flashes to the pit, and instead of Zadal, it's Jax, and he looks down at you with these glowing orange eyes, and it flashes back to the elevator. You feel that presence, that new energy rising in you, sort of a sense of curiosity but also hesitation.
That only makes her panic worse. That's new. She's holding on to like the rail bars just to try and push them back out.
The scene wavers in front of you just a little bit. It doesn't actually change. This is all in Athena's mind, but
Right.
you see Jex again, and then there's a flicker, and you see those burning orange eyes glowing on the back of the Siku moths. And then it's the elevator again. And this time, when you see the moths with the orange light in your mind's eye, you have an inner sense of dread. And you feel like it's coming from that new presence as well.
Ooh.
And it just washes through you, and you feel it recede deep inside.
It's just gone.
I mean, you feel like it's still there. It's just pulled back entirely.
Oh.
And there's just this cold emptiness where it was. And maybe that cold emptiness compounds with that fear you're feeling now.
I think she has one hand on her circlet trying to find it, but she can't. It's not physical, but she doesn't know that right now because she's freaking the fuck out.
And then there's just that mental image of those orange eyes attached to the moths, attached to the bodies walking towards you in the darkness.
Ugh.
He turns around and looks at the elevator bank and just jams the closest floor, just trying to get the door open. Takes another 10 seconds maybe, and he's just there trying to ease you back before the doors slide open onto just a random office floor.
Just hold on.
The doors open and he tries to help pull you up to your feet and get you off the elevator.
I mean, she's not gonna resist if she wants to get the fuck out of there.
He's not strong enough to like pull you up
No,
on his
yeah.
own, but he is trying to help you stand.
I think as soon as that door slides open, she wobbles out of there as well as she can.
I mean, are you on the ground? Do you stand up, or you just like have to crawl out, or
She's kind of like half raised.
pushing herself back to her feet and stumbling out at the
Kind
same
of,
time?
yeah.
Okay. You come out into this office hallway. There are people in motion. You know, it's been a busy day. There's a lot happening, so there are certainly people moving around, and they just see you stumble out of the elevator looking completely out of breath and disheveled, and Zadal comes over and he's hovering nearby, and I think he is having trouble determining if he should like put an arm on you or if he should give you space, and he's just trying to orient you slightly off to the side so you're not in the middle of everything.
I don't even know if she makes it to a chair. I feel like she just props herself up against a wall and has her head between her knees like she's gonna throw up, but she doesn't. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You're fine. It's all right. Just take all the time you need.
It's too close.
Yeah.
Like, she does not have any sense of time, but it feels like forever.
He stays there. I mean, he's patient. He waits with you. If you try to engage in conversation with him, he'll respond in the most soothing way he can. Otherwise, he doesn't prompt you. He doesn't rush you. He just waits.
She spends a long time doing breathing because she could not breathe in there. So every breath is a miracle. I don't even know if her eyes are open.
You hear footsteps getting closer, and a woman's voice says, "Oh, what's wrong with her?" It all just rounds on and is like, "Keep moving, beat it. This ain't a show." And you hear the tinkling of his chain as he pulls out his badge. And there's just a small huff and then clack of heels as the person walks away.
She's pleased about that. She eventually has her hands on either side of her, like fingers on her temples and the other one like on her chin, just looking straight forward. She's more upright than before, but she's not quite there yet, but she's getting there. I think she's drained.
Sure. Yeah.
Positively.
Take another level of fatigue if you want.
It would be appropriate,
All right,
honestly.
You're at 2 fatigue now. One more and you're incapacitated.
She's more back in herself now. I think she looks over at Zadal, very self-conscious and very sheepishly embarrassed.
He looks back at you and he's still got the, discolorations.
Like his Corey is still off color.
A little bit, yeah.
You're okay. It's gonna be fine.
That hasn't happened in a long time.
You've had one heck of a day there. So are you gonna be okay to get home? You need me to take you?
I have these keys.
Can't have you falling off a bike.
Maybe with supervision.
This ain't really my normal mode of transportation, but think I can probably manage to get you back, Leia?
I trust you with all of me. And she says that half-heartedly, but it's the truth.
Oh, okay.
I think she's just still coming out of her garbage.
Sure, I think there's a long beat before he responds, and he says,
I'll try to make sure it's well placed. Come on, let's take the stairs, maybe?
I would love that.
You gonna be okay for some stairs?
What floor are we on?
Maybe put you on like a toboggan and drag you up? I can't do that. I shouldn't paint myself into these corners.
Let's walk.
All right.
So you walk with Sadal, and I imagine at this point it's probably just in silence. Just companionable silence as you climb the last several flights of stairs onto the main level.
It's probably not even that far at this point.
It's not. You got most of the way up. The main level is still busy. There's a lot of people here. It's not quite as jam-packed as it was before. Maybe things are settling down a little bit, but you know where Pavi would have parked the bike. The ground level at the base of the spire. And there's a special exit that you can go out to, the parking area. And when you emerge into the city, a lot of the mist and fog has now dispersed. You can still see it visibly moving away, but most of the stuff has been pushed out. There are still sounds in the distance, but the general level has receded. So there's a bit more law than there was earlier.
Does it still smell weird at all?
No. Not here, nope. You and Zadal find Pavi's bike. What does Pavi's bike look like? Did I say it was like black and yellow? Or
It's probably black and yellow. That's what always is in my head.
So black and yellow, sleek.
Bet she waxed it this morning.
It's polished to a nice
beautiful.
mirror sheen. Zadal gets up to it and he says,
Damn, how much you put into this? This what you spend your money on? Pretty ostentatious, but I guess if that's what you're into.
It's Pavi's.
Peacocking.
Only a little bit.
Maybe.
She earned it. She's such a hard worker.
I believe you. I wouldn't know.
I haven't gotten my bike yet, actually.
Oh, you got a bike too?
I have a bike too.
Pretty as a peacock?
Maybe not anymore.
No.
It's been a while.
Ah, well. I'm sure you can dig it up. And she's a bit of a gearhead, isn't she?
Yeah. I've been looking for a hobby. I think I want to learn how to fix stuff. I think that'll make me feel better about my life.
Having hobbies is good. Keep you busy, but got plenty to keep us busy right now.
It's true.
Well, try to collect your thoughts maybe while we are going back to where do you live? Oh, that's right. I remember. I've been there before. I know. I knew that. I didn't forget that.
No, you didn't forget
No, of
that.
course not. No, that'd be crazy.
So yeah, I think Zadal. Nice. He's throwing his legs over the bike, and luckily there are operations where you can basically control all of this by the handlebars. So
Right.
you sitting behind him is like comical, I think, just with your height disparity.
Yeah, this is fine.
You
I can do
sound
this.
very confident.
Yeah, I'm always confident.
And he turns the ignition on and it revs to life, and he shimmies it back and forth a little bit to get a feel and says,
Yeah, I got this. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
and
Okay.
there's the wub 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 as the energy kicks to life.
I think she forgets she has to hold on to something. She does hold on to him.
And the shot of noodly Athena just grabbing on. He leans into the bike and you guys fly away. He rolled, he blew up a d4 into a 2. So we got a 6 minus 2 untrained. He got a 4. So
Oh my god.
see, here's the thing, just normal piloting. I think this is probably something that would not have gone great if he
Probably
had failed
not.
it. And he will fly you guys back over the city, and you get many of the same motifs from before. So everything is receding back towards the waterfront. There's still pockets of movement, shouting, the occasional loud noise. There are already flares up here and there, but it's not like they're constantly being shot off. None of them look fresh.
Does it look
So-
like East City is as rough?
I think East City actually surprisingly looks better than you would expect,
Good.
given everything. Make me a smarts roll.
Failed.
You're not sure quite why, but... So the bike flies over the districts of the city. Some buildings loom larger than others, but it's easy to fly over the lower buildings in the small neighborhoods as you pass overhead.
She is so happy to be in open air right now.
Mhm.
She's never been more grateful.
Yes. However, it's not the smoothest ride
Oh,
that
no.
she's ever been on. Zadal keeps a handle on it. He orients you in the right direction, and you don't jostle around too much. I mean, it's not like the elevator that you just got out of, but you're pretty sure you could have done a much better job even in your current state.
I think the first time he swerves to avoid a moth or some bullshit, she clamps around his middle to make sure she does not fall off this thing. She's in a wingsuit, sure, but that angle of descent is bad.
Oh, sorry. That one surprised me.
No, you're fine. Just
Keeps good. This time you go, there's another small cloud of moths fluttering by, and he just goes right through them. Splatters all over the little windscreen.
Poppy's not going to be happy about that.
He goes, oh, that's bad. I got it. Don't worry.
Just gives him a comforting pat on the shoulder that's more for her than anything.
And he hikes himself up just a little bit higher so he can see over the slightly messier screen as you go.
Yup.
How about we get a shot of you orienting Zadal? I mean, he knows where you live, but maybe he doesn't know this neighborhood really well, so you point
Right.
him through and he's able to, bring the craft down near your apartment, bring it to a nice halt, a low quarry state where it's making much smaller whoop whoops, but
Just some little whoops.
and not using as much energy, and it's able to more lightly hover over the ground.
Hmm.
And you walk around towards the back where the garage is and allow yourself into the garage.
She opens it up and waves him in.
Even with his diminutive form, he brings it forward into the garage and comes to a halt, kills the engine, and it drifts peacefully back to the floor. And he slides off the frame and shoves himself off and clatters down onto his feet with a clink or two, straightens himself up, brushes off his coat, and says,
That went way better than I expected it to.
I think she flashes the badge on her belt and says, "Excuse me, sir, do you know why I pulled you over tonight?"
Oh, that's really cheeky. That's cute.
Well, I mean, the only reason I ask, sir, is because I suspect you don't have a license. And she looks down at him with like a hand on her hip, just kind of.
What are you gonna do? Frisk me? You a comedian up on the surface? That was the thing you got up to? Mercenaries and jokes?
Just every other weekend, gotta keep busy. The reviews were not kind. And she's goofing, but maybe he doesn't know for sure.
Narrows his eyes just a little bit, like,
Anyway, so, crazy day so far, huh?
Yeah, I'm glad it's almost over.
Yeah.
But, we got a lot done that I didn't expect to. So, I'm weirdly relieved about that.
Being an inquisitor and all, usually a case there's one or two big things that they slot into place and they answer a lot of questions, and just missing the whole picture, and we gotta pick up the pieces and go from there. So we made some progress, and hopefully we can make a little bit more. But you did a real good job, today, just with everything.
Thank you.
How you handled everything. Yeah, I mean, wow, what a day.
Honestly, I was very, very concerned when I walked into the room before I saw Pavi, because I thought I was just gonna die.
I'm sorry. I wanted to say something, but
You couldn't have.
We didn't know how. Silas was pretty sure his mental barrier was real good, but he didn't know if you got into like a panic state, if it would burst more easily, or if it's like with certain memories, like you take away memories. If it's too obvious and you don't fill in the blanks, somebody can think about it and then they remember and just cause problems. So we just didn't know, and we couldn't risk it, but I'm glad it turned out the way it did.
Me too. And you know what? It was a fair worry because, I can be a little feral sometimes without meaning to be.
I don't think I've seen that part of you yet, and wasn't so much we was worried about at that point. It was more the unknown, the still relative unknown. It's kind of weird now. You seem like you're doing okay, but all that stuff's mostly still in you. I mean, we got Benicia out, that's good, but
I mean, honestly, I think I'm more okay with this, more than a lot of other stuff that's been happening, because I actually had a choice about it. Some agency for once. Kind of where I'm at with that, I guess.
yeah, people like it when you give them a choice.
Generally, yep. I feel like I'm doing okay with it, though. I think this is going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're one of the most, I guess, resilient people I've ever met, just given that alone, but you should get some rest. You earned it. So I'll get out of your hair.
and starts walking toward the door.
Wait, I think she grabs his hand.
That surprises him quite a bit.
I think it surprises her too, and she lets him go really fast.
When you grab him, he, immediately stops walking and looks back in surprise, and he opens his eyes and you see them, I guess the equivalent of an arrow dilation for him, where the shutters spiral out a little bit more and his, the mists inside him spiral just a little bit faster as he looks up at you, and then he let go.
Sorry. What?
I'm sorry. I know I've asked a lot of things from you inadvertently today, maybe without even knowing it. Could you just stay till I fall asleep? Because I don't want to be alone right now. I'm sorry. You should... I think she's looking off to the side and
he jumps and he says, no, it's, no, I get it. Yeah. I mean, I'll stay if you want me to, sure.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
And Athena leaves the garage.
If you walk out, Zadal steps out of your way, and then after a pause, just follows behind you.
She's got to close the garage door, though, because she's tall enough to do that.
Yeah, it's this weird, awkward...
stutter step.
I think this whole moment is just riddled with awkwardness, because you ask him to follow you, so he does, and you walk through, so he walks through, and then you're standing there waiting, and he's like,
Just a couple
and
of
gets
dumb
off to the
nerds.
side because he knows you have to shut the door, and then you shut the door, and he's still just kind of waiting there for you to. So, just like awkward, companionable silence
Right.
with some amount of tension
Probably.
that maybe neither of them understands fully.
Probably not. Athena's pretty dumb about a lot of things.
As it all can be too.
As they're walking around to the front of the building to the stairs, Athena just wants to break this heavy silence she's responsible for. Can you... I don't know how long you can do that invisible thing for, but I do have to talk to Thalassica, and I don't know if you want to be involved in that facet of things.
I appreciate you. He starts to say that, and he says, I appreciate you letting me know and getting my permission before involving me in that. That's it's very nice of you. My ability to remain undetected really only works on other people.
Oh.
It's psionics.
So it's not...
Yeah, it doesn't change the environment. It just sort of makes it so that you don't notice me, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah, the mind looks the other way, but that ain't gonna work on electronics. It ain't gonna work on senses, things like that. So, if you don't want me involved, I'll stay out. I can just wait here, or I can wait in the garage.
I think she's got stuff in the garage, too.
Oh
no. I forgot about that.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I forgot.
It's already happened.
God.
I think it's believable that Athena these things wouldn't occur
They wouldn't
to her.
occur
I think
to
it's
her.
fine.
I think she kicks a rock into the street, just like, God damn it. I did it again.
I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I mean,
I just need to think. I need to think. I just
this
need
ain't
to
the
think.
first time I've been here either.
Athena has a plan.
Okay.
This is gonna be fine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna talk to her in my bedroom, and I'll shut the door. Because Lord knows she definitely has some stuff in there.
You tell me where to go, and I will go there.
Oh, let's just go in, I think.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. And they do.
So you go up the front after all this deliberation. Welcome home.
She does do a sweep every time she comes home just to make sure.
If you're checking your apartment to make sure there's nothing here, go ahead and roll me a regular notice.
5.
5. Yeah, you do a quick tour through your home. Nothing appears to be gone or moved or missing. You don't see anyone. You don't have a feeling of anything like that.
Okay, that's good. That's good enough for Athena. She, with a sweeping hand. Welcome to my home. I will be back shortly. Help yourself to whatever you want to help yourself to. She's remembering now he doesn't eat or drink.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of trails off.
Oh, yeah. Takes a moment to just look around and reaches into his pocket and pulls out a packet of these crystal shards and says,
Do you mind if,
No, go for it.
okay.
And he goes and sits down on the couch. It's oversized for him, but he makes himself comfortable.
This is a good couch.
It's the best couch.
All right, well, yeah, don't let me disturb you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get, changed and clean, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure.
She goes upstairs and closes her bedroom door.
You want to give us a small description of Athena's bedroom?
One wall is mostly windows by her bed, so she can look out at the skyline when she can't sleep, which is pretty often. It's pretty cluttered right now because she hasn't had a lot of time to clean, especially after moving back in so suddenly, and that never fully happened. So it's just kind of like boxes and a hamper that's overflowing, and she does have some young adult fiction on her bedside table.
So I love how you make such a point of making that a part of Athena's identity.
It is! She loves it!
So you're in your bedroom. Is there anything that Athena is going to want to do?
Just probably get changed.
Sure. you can get
But I
changed.
think before she does, she just kind of whispers out, "Hey, Thalassica, we gotta be quiet, but are you, around? Are you here? We've got some things to talk about."
The music player sputters to life, and there is a glow as there are with almost every Cori crystal related item. And these small individual crystals that normally hold music light up and begin to project light directly above them in a small hologram.
Athena just waves her fingers, not her entire hand.
The form is the one that you've seen Thalassica show up in, this blue image of a cloaked figure. The voice comes through the crystal.
Hold on a minute. This is gonna sound weird to your ears, but I promise it doesn't hurt.
The small crystals of this music player shimmer just a little bit more, and there's a small undercurrent in the air. You and I might equate it with the sound of electricity humming in the background, similar to that.
Does it make, like, the hair on her arms stand up?
I think, yeah. It's one of those passive environmental energies.
I think she tries to pat it back down.
Yeah, you just feel it, and there's a small hum in the air as you make noise, and your voice comes out.
And is there a reason we're being quieter now?
What do you mean?
I mean, is there a specific reason that you're asking us to keep the volume down, now of all times?
It seemed prudent.
Prudent for what reason?
I don't know. I've had a very long day, Thalassica, and I really need to talk to you about some things.
That's fine, but just so we're clear, I am perfectly aware that there's a gentleman arrow seated on your couch.
Well, yeah.
He looks handsome.
Oh, she does blush. And she looks away real quick. Can I have friends over?
Certainly. I'll always know.
You know everything, apparently, so...
Well, you're not wrong about that. So you wanted to speak, you wanted to talk to me.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
I've had a very, very interesting and very revealing and very long day. And I need to hit Troya tomorrow. He's gonna have time to prepare if I don't, so...
That's true. I would like you to tell me, in your own specific words, what the current situation is in the city, and how exactly we got to this place.
This is a pop quiz.
If you want to think of it that way, you may.
Okay, where should I start?
Let's start with the past day.
Past day.
Just regale me with all of your exploits.
Well, I was fixing up quite a few shop fronts with Bolt. That went middlingly well throughout the day. We went to the casino to talk to my aunt about things. I met Harlan Troya in person. Met him last night, too, kinda. That I thought he hadn't seen me. But I'm not very good at being invisible, maybe. Athena shrugs. And then he was trying to get us to stay at the hotel, probably just to kill me there.
Correct.
That was what I figured. He was trying to get me either to die there or die out in the city, and I was like, no, fuck that. So I went back in and I got Bolt to help him to help me survive my way back to the Spire. Apparently I killed a bunch of citizens that were being controlled. Didn't know they were just regular people till later that night. We captured one. Don't know what's going on with that yet. Back to the Spire, where I was immediately deployed to go turn on the fans. At the fans, Regulator Nema was present and trying to kill me and my partner for the evening. I don't think she cares in the moment it was Lepaco. It's just not a relevant detail for Thalassica. There's some kind of power struggle between these different purple, orange, red. I don't know what's going on, but we got Nema and we got the fans on. That seems to have worked, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Nema died. Brutally. That's kind of been my day. But I need to kill Harlan Troya as soon as possible, because he knows I'm involved and he's close to my aunt, and I need that to not be a thing that's happening.
Well, you did identify correctly the crux of our current predicament, which is, why did you confront your target in person? Why not use proxies?
You could have sent any of your associates to do the same job. Why?
I mean, I can't just go fight a guy and not know what he's capable of, and now I know he's smart. So, that's important for me to know. I mean, looking at the picture I found of him, didn't look like a super smart guy, but now I know a bit of how he treats his people, his general threatening aura, and she sucks on her tooth a little bit while she's thinking. I don't know. It seemed like the right call. Bolt was there with me, so I figured I wouldn't get too hurt, which seemed to also work out well.
That was wise. Why did he recognize you? How did he recognize you?
See, that I don't know.
Think. How could he have recognized you? Call it a brainstorm.
My gut instinct is to think that he just saw through my invisibility attempt at the shard the night prior.
And why did you attempt to get close to him at the shard the night prior?
I just wanted to
You wanted.
I wanted
Pride.
to see what was happening. I can't just send people out there. They might not pick up the right details.
Then you have confidence issues with those you surround yourselves with.
I mean,
You don't trust them to do the job. Perhaps you need new associates.
do you have suggestions?
I have agents I could connect you with, yes.
Man, that would have been helpful to know before all this went down.
Would you have trusted them?
No.
They've assisted you well enough so far.
Well, I'd love to expand on that one. Squints dubiously at the little hologram.
I don't think I'm going to let you make a roll here because rolls are one of those things where you only make a roll if there's a chance of success, and I don't think you're going to convince her to out her agents to you.
That's fair.
So I'm going to say there's no roll here. I'm sure you would like that, yes.
Oh god, I'm sure I would.
Maybe someday. But if you have need of specialists, that can be arranged.
What kind of specialists?
They're specialists. There's a specialist for everything. That's why they're called specialists. You tell me what you need, and we find a specialist.
Gotcha. Good talk.
This is a delicate business, and like most businesses, it can be unwise to mix lives. Mix your personal and business affairs, and things become complicated. Now, I did advise you to keep them close. That is true. It's also important to have those you can depend upon. But your close personal connections can be traced back to you.
Yeah, they sure can.
There are many lessons to take from this, Athena, and it would take time and effort to analyze each and every one of them so that you could understand and process it. But what you need to understand now is this. In revealing yourself to Harlan Troya, you revealed your hand. Instead of pulling the thread, you might have set the entire sweater on fire. Our current predicament, the fact that the city finds itself in the state it does, is because Troya was spooked. He knew that someone was coming for him. He didn't maybe know why quite or how, but he knew.
So the fog was all just him? I don't know.
That is my assumption. I don't know if it's correct. But based on what you've just corroborated, you made contact with him 2 nights ago, and then went to revisit him in person earlier today, and now the city is upside down. It seems only likely.
See, I don't know if the fog was all his call, because Nima at the fans was an agent for Suzette Olivier, apparently. Why was she guarding the fans? Trying to stop me from turning them back on.
An excellent question. And you said this Nima was an agent of Olivier's,
Yep.
and that she is now dead.
Yeah.
How?
Rasmus killed her.
I see.
Yeah. It was, swift and decisive.
So, Olivier had at least one mole within the organization.
2.
2.
I guess not within the regulators. Swarovski with the Cassians. So she's over there too. Seems to me like someone maybe doesn't want all the gates to close.
That would be bedlam.
So I'm pretty on edge about that, and I'm going to be looking into that very shortly.
You tell Thalassica that piece of information, and the image shifts, and the form is moving a bit, almost like they're pacing.
Mm-hmm.
They consider what you just said before responding. Opening the gates would potentially, under the right circumstances, be catastrophic.
It absolutely would be.
What reason would Olivier have for doing that? She has
I don't
nothing
know.
to gain from it.
I don't know what anybody has to gain in this, except besides control. Maybe AlariCorp comes in, swoops on down with relief efforts.
Possible, unlikely.
Because they
Too
haven't...
much effort, too much work. Easier to take out several key figures. It's messy.
Would they be trying to kill the Kassar? Everybody loves her.
That is possible, but again, there must be easier ways to do so.
I don't know.
They're missing pieces.
She's big, but she can't... she can't do a kite all by herself if she gets trapped there.
That's true. Laverna has not yet resurfaced.
Oh.
What was the deadline that you gave her?
I think it was middle of this week, but I need... if you can just reach out to her page or anything that I need to meet with her tomorrow.
Yes, I think Laverna is effective, intelligent. She's a survivor. She has the means to.
Mm-hmm.
She's not prideful enough to bail on a job to save her own life. But she's also a professional, so assuming she's alive, she will check in. I can leave her a message. Have her meet you somewhere, assuming she pops up. But given the circumstances we have in the city in the current state, if she is still in the city, I think she'll be keen to leave.
I would think so as well.
What do you want me to tell her?
I just need to meet with her. That's all she needs to know.
Yes, but she needs to know where to meet you and when to meet you.
Same place as last time.
No, you never meet in the same place twice.
Okay, somewhere else then. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm very tired. Athena's been sitting on her bed like this whole time, and she just looks like an entire mess.
There's a long pause then as Thalassica appears to be doing something on it. There's some sort of motion on her end, but the hood looks up and over to you, and there's a pause before she speaks again. I understand that you're tired, but when you're tired, sometimes you still need to make important decisions. Just because you're tired doesn't mean bad things can't happen. Doesn't mean your enemies can't find you.
Oh, they find me the most when I'm tired.
Well, then you'd best keep yourself prepared. And there's another span of silence while you lie there and she fiddles around on her end before speaking again. That was a smart thing you did with Bolt, to take him out, get him into the public eye.
Athena smiles a little bit. I thought it would help.
That was well thought out.
Thank you. Why do you want him to succeed? I'm just curious. Maybe if I know a reason, I can do it better.
This is gonna be a persuade at...
I do still have 2 fatigue.
Okay, then this is gonna be...
So she's looking pretty fucking rough.
Yeah, I did not realize you had 2 points. Wow, a third one would make you incapacitated. That's bad.
Yeah, why do you think she hasn't been casting any things?
God, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right, this will be at a -2 for the roll, so I guess with
Okay.
your -2, it's a -4, yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Give it a shot, why not?
No, but you know what? I'll use a Benny. I just got one back. Worse. I'm good.
Okay.
I'll let that stand.
I think there's a bit of a laugh comes through before you get a response. I think you're stretched thin enough for one day. That can be another conversation.
Yeah.
It's all part of the end game.
This is weird. I think this fact of all the facts of her past day resurfaces, and she's not quite sure why this one is, but here we are. Bolt doesn't know what Shazad is.
Bolt doesn't know what many things are.
Yeah, but you'd think, right, that he would love it? So,
Oh, I'm certain he would as soon as he discovers it. But it's much easier to keep on track if he doesn't know that certain things exist.
That's true. It just baffled me in the moment.
Well, he has a taste for gambling now, but I think he's figured it out. It's all farce.
You think?
What do you mean?
You think he has or hasn't figured it out?
I don't believe he has any inherent ability to succeed at it, but I think he understands certain favoritism and privileges that are afforded to him.
Yeah, he might. I don't think he's a bad dude, but he's obviously got some shit to work out.
He's an oaf.
He's an oaf.
He has no ill intentions, but he's from poor stock.
What do you mean?
That's going to be another persuade. What's the same thing?
As well.
-4 total, including your penalties.
Oh!
Oh,
Oh, 13.
Ooh, okay.
I trust you know his family affiliations by this point.
He might have said something about something, but...
Well, something about something means he's connected to poor stock. I don't trust those in his family, nor should you.
Yeah, it's probably a safe bet.
Watch out for Zaxby.
Why?
He's the most cunning.
Really?
Really.
With a name like Zaxby?
Subterfuge, Athena. Smoke and mirrors. Let people think whatever you want them to think about you. If Bolt was a bit smarter, he could use this as a ruse, but he's not capable of such things. Galassi sits on the throne. Galassi points his finger and things happen. Zaxby pulls the strings.
Oh.
Zaxby stands behind the curtain, stays out of the spotlight. He's the one to keep an eye on. He's not around Caldonix very much. But he might be. Sooner than you think.
Oh, that's wicked ominous, Thalassica.
Well, I can't predict his schedule any better than you can, but I think, given everything that's occurred here, it might be in his best interest to make a showing of it.
Probably would be a good PR move. So, I mean, Bolt Bulig's not his real name, right?
No.
I love alliteration, but damn. What is his name?
That is very privileged information indeed. And trust me when I say that it wouldn't matter to you.
Oh, okay. Well, that buttons up my interest in the subject. She makes a little buttoning motion with her fingers in the air as she says that.
It was foolish to go to the Lotus, but you did a good job with the fans.
Thanks. I mean, I did have to go to the Lotus as part of the task force investigation. I couldn't just send Bolt there. Pavi can't go there. Tuca probably shouldn't go there.
And what about your friends at all?
I didn't know where he was.
You might want to keep an eye on that.
What do you mean?
The hood looks up to you for a long moment, just staring, and doesn't respond, and then goes back to what they were doing.
I don't trust anyone, Athena. Everyone has something to hide. Everyone has affiliations. The Arrow are a proud people, very noble in what they do most of the time, but they have their own agenda.
That's the same as everybody, right?
Yes, of course. Now you understand. But think about where they come from. Where, not just the Arrow, but any individual. Where do they come from? What influences them?
Was that a rhetorical question?
Somewhat, unless you had a figure in mind that you'd like to examine. We could start with you, if you like.
You know, I'd rather think about Troya a little harder.
Practical. Good.
I'm either gonna kill him tomorrow, or he's gonna kill me. So, if I'm one of your, finger quotes, agents within the city right now, it would be in your best interest to tell me whatever you know about him, so I don't die and can help you do more things.
Make me a persuade at... This is going to be a base -4 penalty.
So -6.
-6, yeah. Sorry. You're asking good questions, but... Oh boy.
Benny number 1. Same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Well, I might need this one to soak a wound. Who knows? She might just electrocute me.
I can tell you everything I know about him, but something tells me you still know more. That's why I had you here. That's why I told you to look into him. My resources are limited. Harlan Troya works for Oleracorp now. He's from the surface.
He's dangerous.
He's very dangerous. He's ambitious.
How did he climb this ladder so fast? If he was just doing security details up top.
Reputation. Results. He's brutal, effective, charismatic. He can worm his way in. He probably had a sponsor of some sort. That might be worth looking into in the long run.
Or a patron.
Certainly. Patron, sponsor, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure Laverna can give you more information when she resurfaces, and I expect that she will within the next 12 to 24 hours.
Good.
You're not wrong, though. You will need to act. I think it's highly unlikely that he hasn't already taken steps. But, seeing that he's already taken those steps and we're lacking information, we'll just have to wait.
My thought is, if he's... suddenly his plans have gone a bit awry, I think that would make him a bit sloppier for the next couple days while he's scrambling to figure things out. So if we can hit him while he's scrambling, that sounds like the best option to me.
It's probably true. It's going to be a measure of how prepared he is for catastrophe, how prepared we are to track him down.
Sarah and Delmo's involved?
Sarah and Delmo.
I've never met her, but I know she's one of the security detail
Yes.
managers at the Lotus.
She works at the Lotus, yes. I don't know her personally.
I killed her son last night.
What?
Didn't know.
There's a couple of taps that you hear coming through the speakers of the music device, and then she speaks again.
Amphitrio and Delmo.
Yep,
He's dead?
he's dead.
I see. How did this happen?
Ambushed us in the park when we were investigating the bedding from the shard. And he almost killed Pavi a couple days prior.
Amphitrio?
Yeah, he wasn't in his... I don't think it was him in his brain at that point. Those red eyes.
What do you mean?
The civilians that I killed earlier. Red eyes. The drugs laced in with some kind of measure of control for whoever's controlling them. But some of them have black shadows on them and red eyes. And they are more power players, it seems. And he had those. And he tried to kill me twice. And I killed him first.
I see. These power players. What others?
Nima was one,
Nima.
but she was purple.
Purple? Who else?
She looks up at the ceiling while she's thinking.
Who else?
I'm trying to recall. Picked up a red one tonight for whatever Roja's gonna do to look into that. I don't know.
A red one?
One with red eyes. It's just a Nakir. Apparently just a civilian. They've been throwing at us, so I kill people. Because that's what I'm good at, apparently.
Yes, you are. Get over it.
Benicia Olivier. Before I killed her.
Ah. Another Olivier.
Another well, don't have to worry about this one too much, huh?
Apparently not. But if Nima was connected and Benicia Olivier was connected, then it stands to reason that Suzette Olivier is also connected.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Suzette Olivier is connected to these purple eyes, and Harlan Troya is connected somehow to these red eyes, are they working together?
The red and the purple, I'm just not super sure. The red has been referred to as a parasite, the parasite. Seems like it's a splinter faction from one of the other colors. wants to maybe make a name for itself. It's with all the Ali Sahir, the Glimmer.
Yes, that name, Alice here. Tell me what else you've found out.
That's it. That's all I know.
You had asked me, and I couldn't turn anything up.
I still think it's a call phrase, but I don't know. The squiggles on the paper just burned into people's brains. It's just Corey channels that goes through them.
And they're both in Oleracorp. What other colors have you seen?
Orange.
Yes, that was in the warehouse, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the only time. Was it? She's looking off to the side of the room, trying to remember over the city. I think that was the only time. Green also.
Where?
When I went to the bubble for dinner with my grandparents, they were just above, just watching me. And they were, I think it's where that mental conversation I had was stemming from. I just don't know why I'm important in all this. Because it seems like there's a lot of different stuff vying for my attention, and I don't know why.
Well, those with connections inevitably create more connections.
Maybe.
Well, no use worrying about that for now, but we need to find out more.
Man, that's what I'm setting out to do.
How many people know about me?
You?
Yes.
Probably more than you'd like, but I didn't tell him about it.
Unsurprising and somewhat unbelievable.
Wasn't me. She holds up her hands.
Who? Who knows about me that you didn't tell?
The Oculus.
How does he know but not through you?
Well, you see, when you change that transport to send Pavi to the surface, he saw it, and he broke into her brain. And her actions had been modified, so anything you would have told Pavi, he knows.
And she's, what now, free of this control?
Seems like it, but you know me. I don't know how to do anything with psionics.
That's acceptable. I haven't told you anything that would be detrimental, and I think his views would align with our own.
So far? Yeah, they definitely are.
Well, let's hope that continues.
Do you know anybody that's been trying to kill him?
Kill what? The Oculus?
Yeah.
Why would I want to kill the Oculus?
No, do you know anything about anybody trying to kill the Oculus?
I am not aware.
There have been some attempts. And, man, I'd really rather keep myself in his good graces by trying to figure out who. Because I don't want him just peeling open my brain like a tin can.
No, we can't have that, can we?
No.
Well,
But thank goodness, taps her circlet. Got this.
tell me, Athena, what has Silas been doing?
What do you mean?
You said you're afraid of him opening your head like a tin can.
He's just paranoid. And he's been getting more paranoid
And
since he's had these assassination attempts.
what can you tell me about them?
Eyes. Purple.
The purple again.
The purple again.
What's Nima?
It could have been
Benicia
Nima.
Olivier, Suzette Olivier.
Could have been. Could have been any of them. But Suzette Olivier is apparently a bit of a spy master. So could have been anyone under hers.
Very true.
Nima called herself a finely crafted tool. So I'm sure there are other tools out there as well.
Well, prideful if nothing else.
Yeah. Ah, fuck her.
And how long ago? How often?
That I'm not aware of.
I see.
But I can do some digging.
Well, for what it's worth, I've never seen anything posted through Pantheon, nor any of the other networks I move between. So, if there was someone sent, it seems like maybe it would have been a personal stake. Figure out who Silas wronged, and why they want him dead.
Well, apparently, Suzette is very easily wounded, pride-wise, so
That doesn't surprise me.
I don't know her. So I guess I'll find out at some point.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Is the Oculus interfering with you?
No. He's just letting me do my work.
Is that a truthful answer from Athena?
Yes.
Does she believe that? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Very well. Keep an eye on him.
That'll be easy. We report to him. And you know me, I'm just bumbling around the spire, knocking into whoever the fuck.
Yes.
Athena just shrugs with tired eyes.
Thalassica moves past that.
I will leave Laverne a message to meet you somewhere as soon as possible. Where should that be? Not in the same place. Don't use the same meeting place twice.
You know, it never became a problem up top because I was always moving around anyway.
You're already taking care of it. Could be another hotel, it doesn't matter.
I just want to keep most of my dealings in West City, if at all possible.
Very well.
She gives you the address on the western side of the city. Not in the same area, but very similar to the last one.
Gotcha.
So she'll book you a room and get you the info.
Athena, after you speak with Laverna, after you get whatever intelligence she has, come back and speak with me before you proceed.
Okay.
Good. Good. Do you have any other questions? You should get some sleep.
Yeah, let's just have this crazy little scenario that if you were me, how would you try and kill a very powerful, prideful, angry man? Because I've seen a little bit of what he can do, and quite frankly, I'm pretty scared.
Well, we had originally wanted to kill him in a public place, but now that he's aware of us coming, that seems less likely. I would say, get inside his head. Think of how he would handle the situation. Where might he be fortified? What might he have to bring to arms? If he's prideful, hurt his pride. Use something to draw him out, if you can. Otherwise, what do you know about his capabilities? Work around them. Deny him opportunity. Use the element of surprise, if you can. He has every reason to flee.
What about on a bridge?
What about it?
I mean, he lives in the bubble, right? You said?
He does, but do you really expect that he retreated to his home after being found out?
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to wait for what Laverna says.
Possibly. I mean, I don't think the location of your battle matters too much, and it should be in a place where you can control the flow of the fight. Use the situation to your advantage. Deny him his advantages. Water would be advantageous.
Water would be good if I didn't want him to know it was me, though. Maybe lightning isn't a good call, because that's kind of like my thing. And if there's something in his head...
Something in his head?
Maybe. I don't know. This fucking parasite's linking all these people up like a network.
That could be. So you're afraid of giving away your identity to those who might, have access to his thoughts?
I guess. I mean, it'd be easier to find me than a faceless Pantheon wraith.
I suppose that's true. Well, regardless, determine what capabilities you intend to bring to bear against him and plan around those. Are you taking anyone with you? What sort of backup will you have? What sort of backup will he have? Some of these questions you won't have the answer to until you speak with Laverna, but I think you know quite a bit about him and what he can do, even this far.
I'm gonna need a lot of help.
That might be true. Athena, don't let your pride get you killed. Don't let your pride let important assets, or those you care about, get them killed. Use the resources that you have, or that you can get access to.
I don't know if it's pride so much as fear.
And what does fear tell you? Why are you afraid?
Because I'm always afraid. Thalassica.
Why?
Because I don't know enough. Ever about anything.
Well,
It's hard to make informed decisions when lives are on the line, when I only have an eighth of a picture, maybe, at any given point.
I think you say that, and Thalassica's hologram picture of herself gets a little bit bigger, and it's like she's leaning in towards you a little bit more.
and what can you do to improve that?
Throw a bigger net. Take a step back.
You're not wrong. Not entirely. Networking. Information. It's a powerful commodity. It can do a lot behind the scenes. Why do you think I do what I do?
I just assumed you like putting yourself in appliances as a fun goof.
Yes, I'm renowned for my sense of humor.
I'm laughing.
Well, maybe you should sleep instead.
Maybe. Well, if there's nothing else for me, I'm gonna do that. That's the plan.
Very well. I've sent Laverna the message. I'll let you know when she checks in, or if she doesn't.
Okay. Then I'll have that convo, and I'll be right on back to chat.
That sounds acceptable.
Good. I was hoping it would. Well, thanks for talking.
You're welcome. Get some sleep.
Okay.
With that, the lights spiral down and away, and the music box shuts off and clicks shut, and you're left alone in your room. Or so you think.
Well, she's never alone.
It's true.
So Athena's gonna get changed into some comfy clothes and head back downstairs. But I do think she lingers on the landing that looks out over the first floor, and she peeks down at Zadal real quick, hopefully stealthily, before she heads back down the stairs, a little bit nervously.
Zadal, puffing away at one of his crystals. Looks like there's 2 or 3 on the table that are empty in front of him.
Oh, damn.
And you come down, and he stands up and turns around and says,
Oh, hey, everything go okay?
She just gives him an okay symbol with her hand.
he looks relieved a bit, maybe. He's also still looking super tired,
Yeah.
but that gets a nod.
I think she comes down the stairs and she's in like extremely ratty sweatpants and a comfy shirt, and she's just so ready to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I happy to stay until you fall asleep. I can just let myself out whenever.
Yeah, sure, we got a spare. So feel free to take that, and I can get it from you tomorrow.
Oh, it's the key.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I mean, I wasn't giving you a tire or something.
Thought you meant like a bed, and never mind.
I mean, you could sleep in mine if you want. I'm just gonna crash right on the couch here. This couch has been my home.
I appreciate that, and it is quite a comfortable couch. I should head on to my place after, though, because arrow things.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you don't gotta apologize to me. Nope, you're good.
Cool. She lays down the love seat that he is not occupying and just kind of curls up, and she's just ready to conk out.
As your eyes close and you begin to drift off to sleep, you just hear Zadal's voice saying,
Sweet dreams, Athena.
I don't think she answers, but she smiles.
as you're drifting off to sleep, there's just the faintest nimbus of purple that dances through your mind, maybe in front of your closed eyelids, and then you're asleep.
Thanks for listening to another week, another episode.
Hooray!
We're almost there, guys. End of the season. We're just crashing right towards it.
It's pretty close.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Okay, after this, 2 episodes? Is that where we're at? 2?
I think
about 2? 2.5 maybe?
2.
About 2. Length may vary. We'll see.
They're probably going to be beefy.
They might be. I don't
Some
know. It's
beefy
going to depend
boys.
on what we can get recorded here.
So if you want to talk to us about anything that's been happening in the show recently or whenever, we're on Twitter at RPG for You and Me. I specifically am on Twitter at UCTheHat. You can come on to our patron exclusive Discord.
I will be getting a Twitter account at some point. When I upgrade my phone, I will get Twitter because my iPhone 6S is a block that hasn't been updated in 187 weeks. It's now told me.
Oh my god. My phone can't look at DeviantArt, it can't look at Patreon. It's just like, I'm trying.
I'm trying, sort of, but not really.
Not
so,
really.
yeah, thanks. Thank you for being here for week number 187 of me not updating my iOS.
You animal.
I will see you next week in 188, and dare I say it, 189. Yeah, week 189, which I like to refer to as maybe Genghis Khan week. Week 189. But we will be out at Genghis Khan in Aurora, Colorado.
Hell yeah.
Thursday, February 13th to Sunday, February 16th.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. We're gonna go. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Come and say hi if you're there. Hope
So
to see
like
some of you.
we're gonna play some Savage Worlds, but who is that owned by?
Peg Inc.
Beautiful.
Sorry, no, that's their website. It's the Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Pinnacle Entertainment Group. And you can find them and their products at peginc.com.
That's true.
Group of hardworking folks out there.
Music this week, Crockett at Crockett80s on Twitter and crockett.bandcamp.com. We got Waveshaper at waveshaper1.bandcamp.com, and then Busted Boot is at bustedboot.bandcamp.com. One of our Patreon tiers includes a shout out in the show, so welcome to our first one on that. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. We love having you around. It's so fun to be able to talk to you on Discord, and I appreciate your engagement and interest in what we're doing here.
Thank you for all the drawing suggestions.
It's very helpful.
It really is, because man, shit, I never know what to draw.
Yeah, so special thank you to Michael.
Okay, bye guys.
But we'll
see you
guys next week.
See ya.